for another amazing episode of The Spicy Life. I am your host, Spicy Mari, and joined with me is my beautiful co-host, Dr. Ali.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome. Oh, he's back. She's looking really smart today with her glasses.
I love it. No more contacts for me.
And our special guest in the G-Spot is professional astrologer and life coach, Astrofashionista, but her real name is Tamerri, okay? But you guys know her as Astrofashionista because she did a BuzzFeed video with me that actually is like, what, 1 million and something views?
I think it's over 1 million.
Yes, a little number like that. But we wouldn't have had that video if it wasn't for Dr. Ali giving us the plug.
Thank you, Dr.
I'm a
Ali.
connector.
Yeah.
Connector.
Dr. Ali did. She definitely connected us. She let me she let BuzzFeed know that Tamerri and I do astrology and relationship coaching and the spicy assessment. And we were able to collab on a BuzzFeed video together that is just caught wind. And it's, all over the world. It's viral now.
It's like the perfect union of things.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Like, absolutely perfect.
But part of the reason that I had to bring Tamerri back in here, Astrofashionista, is because I get so many questions all the time about horoscopes. And I'm like, okay, refer to my partner in crime. Like, totally ask her, what exactly, is an astrologer? How do you read horoscopes? Are they psychics? Is that the same thing as, a gypsy? Like, people have so many questions when it comes to astrology.
Yeah.
And who better to explain what it is that you do other than you yourself?
Yeah. So, like Spicy Mari said, my name is Tamerri and I'm an astrologer. So basically, I take people's natal charts, it's basically a snapshot of how the stars look the moment you were born. And I kind of dissect their personality by looking at these natal charts. I can do compatibility charts, which is looking at two charts together. I can do a composite chart, which is looking at a relationship and how that relationship is for those individuals. But basically, it's using astrology to help people better their lives. That's pretty much what I do in a nutshell.
So, but how does one read the stars? Because when I look up at the stars, I don't code that. I don't know what the stars mean. How do you read stars? Is there a language that's above our head that we don't know about?
Well, I'm not actually reading the stars. That's not how it works.
I love this. I did imagine her like with a book outside.
Yeah, it's
Hi, there's the stars and let me read them. No, it doesn't work like that. Basically, it's looking at all planets have energy. That's what astrologers believe, that the planets give off energies, and the way that the planets affect us is pretty much what I'm looking at when I'm studying astrology. So it's not reading the stars, it's really tracking the movement of the planets. It's not really stars, I guess constellations are stars, and seeing how that affects us as humans. So it's just me looking at what's going on in the universe and how that's affecting us. That's pretty much how it works.
And so when I do the spicy assessment, I'm looking at your interpersonal skills. When you're doing your assessment, you're looking at the time that they were born, the city that they were born, and what's the other part of it?
It's their birth date, their birth time, and then the city that they're born in.
How do you can somebody have the same chart as somebody else or the same reading as somebody else if they were born at the same time?
You can, and that's called your Zodiac or astrological twin, which is cool. It's almost like if you never met this person and they live on the other side of the world, you guys are super similar. It's probably... it's not rare to be born at the same time as someone because there's millions of people in the world. But if you're born even within 5 minutes of somebody on the same day, then you're going to be very similar, obviously, because you have a lot going on in your chart.
Okay, so before, because I want to dive into everything related to astrology, but I want you to do this reading first for us. Have you ever heard of Nicki Minaj?
Of course I've heard of Nicki Minaj.
I've never heard of
She's
this
actually
person.
a Sagittarius. I do know that.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to read Nicki Minaj's future, and I want you to, here I go pretending like she's a psychic. But we always start off with the spicy dish. And so before we get into the nitty gritty of real horoscopes, I want you to assess maybe why Nicki is led to do, what she does. And the recent, 411 on Nicki is that she recently, she recently modeled for Paper Magazine and broke the internet. And this, if you guys aren't familiar with this is exactly what Kim Kardashian did in 2014. She broke the internet.
Old news.
Yeah, old news. But now here comes, a real black woman. And she's breaking the internet as well with a menage a trois, where there's 3 images of her herself modeling, but one is like holding onto a breast, the other one is sitting down, and the other
Just about ready
the
to...
other one's like
When did this happen?
going
Cunnilingus
downtown.
herself. This was like today.
I haven't
this
been
morning,
in the
I swear.
shade room,
So
so I
let
don't
me
know.
show you.
I swear it was like this morning.
Yeah,
Or last night.
I'll show you a photo so that you can.
I didn't even know about this.
Yeah,
so
I'm
glad I
obsessed
came
with the color pink. So the background was pink. And so I was very excited by that. And it really reminded me of like Vanessa Williams, like circa 1970 something, when she wasn't allowed to be Miss America because she was giving oral sex to that woman in that image in Playboy.
Oh, that's so unfair.
It
Wait,
looks
I didn't
really
know
similar.
that was what she was doing. I thought she was just posing nude.
Oh, it was a lot. My dad actually has a Playboy.
shoot.
And I mean, it's beautiful. It's all beautiful. The imagery is, the photography was stunning. And it was kind of like enshrouded, right? It was kind of like fuzzy and a little blurry. But it really, when I saw the paper magazine cover, I was like, it's really giving me like Vanessa Williams.
Oh.
Okay, so I want to show you a good photo so that you know what we're
There
referring
we go.
to.
Oh, okay. But it's
So-
her.
Once again, we'll make a little photo or something pop up right here of paper magazine. But this is Nicki being Nicki and giving herself lots of.
I was really into the hair
Loving.
thong that she
And
had going there.
she's getting
Oh, that
heat
is
right
a
now,
hair
though.
thong.
So, like Eve spoke up about this, saying
The rapper
that
Eve?
the rapper Eve. Eve's now doing a talk show, not real. What talk show is?
I don't know.
Okay,
can't
the one
keep
with the
up with
Osborne
those.
lady.
Oh, the view, the
View,
voice, the
yeah.
chat, the soup, the talk.
One of the the talk.
There's a lot
okay,
of
the
them.
view, the
I'm
talk.
like, I can't keep up with
The view, the
those.
soup, the view. Okay, so Eve kind of said, that because Eve started off very sexual too, but she
Yeah,
said that she
she
learned early on that this was not the way that she wanted to brand herself because she realized that there was younger girls that were looking up to her. However, Nicki Minaj is branding herself as a extremely sexually charged and provocative woman, and has been like that and been very true to that brand since day one. And so I by no means am shocked by this cover of the magazine, and nor am I offended. It's not like she has 2 dudes on her. It's her herself finding pleasure with herself. And so people are going nuts over this, saying, what about the children and this and this and this? Why are you, first off, you're letting your child listen to Nicki.
Thank you.
But her name is Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
We know that Minaj comes from Menage a Trois. So why would she not have a photo of her having a threesome with herself? This is
But what's
artistic.
the context of this? Is there like an interview that goes along with this?
So I haven't read any magazine article yet that she's put out. This is just a teaser, I think, for the, article that's going to come out. But the picture to me is not offensive. I think that the only part that's offensive is the fact that she's down licking herself. Like her tongue is out. She's not even, her tongue isn't even on her crotch.
She's
It's just
ready.
pretending to
She's
be on
ready.
her crotch.
I will say when I saw it, I was definitely like, WTF, what the fuck?
I don't
Like,
even think
what
it's
is
that
happening?
extreme. And maybe that's
But
part
I
of
think
me
we're
being a
just
part of society that's
desensitized?
desensitized.
Well, I'm not, and I wasn't mad at it, but I was just like, because at first I didn't realize it was all her, and I was like, what is happening here, Nicki? I just focused on Central Nicki in the chair.
I just almost feel like she doesn't have to do this anymore. Like her stardom has surpassed this. So that's why I'm like, what's the context? What did you do this for? Because you're a megastar already. Why do you need to do this? Am I offended by it? I kind of expect it from her, I guess.
I expect it too.
But I kind of see where people are coming from, like with the kid, because you could monitor your kids all day long. If they have a phone, if they're on the internet, they're going to be able to see this.
But
So,
like we're holding this. So one, we're holding this celebrity to a high standard because now she's put herself on a pedestal, which I understand. There's that whole, if you're a star, now you have to be mindful of everybody in the world that's watching you because you chose that lifestyle. But at the same time, that means that we would all need to be nuns once we get to this level of stardom, or there's nothing out. We can't all be bubblegums and raindrops because then television becomes boring, music becomes boring. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get excited when I see people pushing the envelope and don't care what we think. And not to say that, well, what about the kids? I'm gonna have kids one day, and just like my mom told me, I need to see the show before you watch it. I need to hear the song before you listen. I need to know your friends before you go play with them. I'll make sure that I do the same, with my children. So
Yeah, I think the problem
We
with
can't
this,
hold her responsible to raise our
yeah.
kids.
No, I think that's
No,
the
you
problem.
can't hold celebrities.
We're not
responsible
raising
for
our own
kids.
kids anymore. I think that's the issue, is that we're sitting our kids down in front of a television, a phone, a screen, and then we're upset that they see something insanely sexual. But if you have no parental controls on your computer and you don't constantly change the passwords, like, you have to outthink your kids. They figure out the passwords, you got to change them. Like, the kids are created. That's the whole purpose of them existing, is to like push the envelope and figure out what the boundaries are. You have to be smarter than them and more creative. And of course, you don't want your kids to see that. Like, I'm not explaining to a 5-year-old why this woman is licking the private area of herself. I'm not explaining that.
Would it be as bad if it was a man? And he had 2 girls on him. One was pretending like she was going down, and a girl was hanging over him, grabbing his
No,
chest.
I don't think people would be as upset. I think I would be more upset. But I don't think society would be, honestly. I think society's used
And
to
that's
that.
not fair. And it's her. It's not even somebody else grabbing her titty. She's grabbing her own titty.
I'm all about women's empowerment, and I think that in a way to push the pendulum, we almost have to be more dramatic in order to gain our sexual freedom. We almost have to have images like this to push the envelope so far that then when we come back to the middle, it's like, okay, this is better. It's kind of like some of those salesman tactics where you like oversell and you say, well, this product is $10 trillion, but I'll give it to you for like, 1,000.
Right.
And they're like, oh, just 1,000? That's great.
I don't know if that pushes. To me, this doesn't help women's empowerment at all.
I don't even think
That's
her
just
message was that deep.
I don't think she's trying to do that.
I think she was like, my
but
name's
I don't think that helps women
Nicki
that
Minaj.
image at all.
I just think he was going out for her name.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think it was that hard of an idea to come up with. It's like the alter ego.
You're like, why hasn't she been done this?
Yeah, this should have come out 5 years ago. No, but just because it's not that forward thinking in the sense of we've been seeing the alter ego. We know Housewives of Atlanta, that photographer. Dang, he shot me back in the day.
Who's
Derek
that?
Blanks?
Derek Blanks.
Oh no, Derek Blanks. Okay.
He did like my first photo shoots photo shot when I was in Atlanta. Yeah, that's when he charged like maybe $40 a pose. Now
Now he's been blown up.
now it's like $5,000 a look.
Yeah.
But this looks like something he would have done when he first like started and Nicki was
Yeah,
getting
that
on the
actually
scene.
does look like it could
Who
be
shot
one of his
this?
alter ego.
She actually tagged the photographer in the post, but then also, of course, and I'll look up who shot it, but Kim Kardashian responded. Oh, it was photographed by Jean-Paul Gaultier? No. Yeah.
Not Gaultier. That's so different.
Jean-Paul Gaultier.
I don't know who that is.
I need to work on my French. But I think that's what his name is. And so, Kim Kardashian, of course, like, I think she gave like some little fire emoticons sign, and yeah, that was her way of like, yeah, yes, girl, get it, because she got a lot of heat too when she broke the internet back in the day. But I want you to tell us, Tamerri, based on Nicki Minaj's Zodiac sign, where is this coming from? Like, why is she this sexual, creature, or is she not? And this is just an act.
Well, I have to see her whole chart, because that's one thing. Astrology is not just your sun sign. She's a Sagittarius. That's her sun sign. What I can tell you about Sagittarians is that they're fire signs. So fires are probably a little more spicy than an earth sign. No, you're not a fire sign. You're still spicy.
You said spicy though.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I was giving the
Spicy's a Capricorn for all of you guys who want to know. Yes. Sagittarians would be a sign that is okay with pushing the envelope. It's the archer. So it's the sign, you guys know the archer symbol. It's a sign of travel, education, worldly views, like knowing interesting facts. They don't like to be tied down. So to me, I interpret this as somebody that doesn't want to be tied down by society. Maybe she's looking... Exactly. Maybe she's like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do because I'm a Sag and I can do and say whatever I want to say.
Yeah.
I find with a lot of Sagittarian women is that they do like being a center of attention. Britney Spears is Sagittarius, Tyra Banks, Christina Aguilera. Like, they're very comfortable, like, kind of putting their sexuality, just going off of celebrities.
So does that mean we're seeing a breakdown coming? Are we gonna
I hope she doesn't have a breakdown.
Please,
we can't take it anymore. No more breakdowns. Please.
Let us know.
Please, no more breakdowns. But I think it's just a matter of her just really, a lot of Sages don't care. They're very blunt and direct. She's probably like, doesn't care, like she just wants to do whatever she wants to do. So I would say that's probably it. Now, if we looked at her Venus sign, maybe that could tell us more. Maybe it's in a sultry sign like Scorpio.
Now you have to for those who don't understand the stars and speak astrology, what is her sun sign, her Venus sign,
Yes.
her what are these?
Okay, so your sun sign is your sign as you know it. It's like, what's your zodiac sign? That's your sun sign. But in natal chart, I literally can see every single planet and how that affects the person in their chart.
How many planets are there?
There's 9. Well, in astrology, there's 9 planets because the sun and the moon are, don't quote me on that. It's the sun, the moon are considered planets in astrology just for terms.
Mhm.
There's Venus, there's Mercury, there's Mars, there's Jupiter, there's Neptune, Uranus, Pluto. Yes, 9.
Uranus.
So I just want to, and then there's other
You're 9
oh,
years
Pluto.
old.
I left Pluto
You're
out.
literally 9 years old.
Did I say Pluto?
Still tickles
did.
me.
Okay, so did
Did
I
you?
include that in my 9? I can't remember.
No, you didn't. I would have thought of the dog.
So-
She said it.
Pluto, yeah. So-
Once again, I'm 9.
but there's other asteroids, there's other things in the chart. So basically Venus is the sign of love and beauty, like we all know that story of Venus. So it kind of shows how sexual you are. It shows what you love and value, what you like in relationships, the type of partners you like.
So
if-
Venus will tell you all that about,
It
if
can-
we were to do a reading right now, you
Yeah.
would look at our Venus to know.
I have to do this.
that's
Yeah.
a big part of your relationship, like who you are and what you value. So I always look at that in relationship readings.
Your Venus,
Yes.
I'm your fire, your desire.
Uh-oh, singing girls group.
Desire. Hey, 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 hey.
I'm breaking down. Okay. Wait, so not to digress from like Nicki, but you brought up that, okay, you know, this is could be related to this a part of her sign and this a part of her sign. Capricorns, who happen to be some of the strongest, most amazing leaders and just phenomenal creatures
My
all
boo
around,
is a
the Alpha and
Capricorn,
Omega,
so I
the
will-
January and
What in the
December.
world is happening?
I will co-sign
What?
that one, okay?
No.
Because I'm in love
Why is one of our very own Capricorns, Tyrese, going through this breakdown?
He's having a major meltdown
He's a Capricorn.
right now.
He's supposed to be so put together.
He's having a major meltdown
What
right now.
Is that about? What's happening in his sign that's making him go through this craziness? Because
So
that's not like us Capricorns.
it's not, and I can't really speak again. I haven't seen his whole chart. I don't know what time he was born. I probably could find it on the internet, but I will say, the good thing that's going to happen is that Saturn is going to be moving into Capricorn in December, and right now it's in Scorpio, and it's been a trying time for anybody with Scorpio planets in their
Oh,
chart.
didn't you put that in mine?
Saturn right now is in Sagittarius, not Scorpio.
Oh, okay. I was supposed to
Disregard what I just said.
Okay.
Jupiter
many
is right now
planets
in
to remember.
Scorpio.
Okay.
Saturn right now is in Sagittarius, Nicki Minaj's sign. It's going to be moving into Capricorn. So I'm hoping once that happens, maybe we'll see a little more stability from Tyrese.
Got it. Okay.
Because Saturn is Capricorn's ruler. So once it's in that sign, usually Saturn in a sign is kind of hard and malefic because it's not an easy planet. It's a planet that wants to teach you hard lessons.
Like your Saturn.
I must
Your
have
Saturn
have I been
return.
in my Saturn this year? Because I had
You
learned
were
some
in your-
hard lessons.
You've learned a lot of
Shoot.
hard lessons, I think, because your second house is ruled by Sagittarius, and Saturn has been running through Sagittarius.
Running
but-
through these streets with my woes.
And I have the same thing going on. So, but when it goes into Capricorn, it's going to be really beneficial for you because you are a Capricorn, and that's your ruler. So
And that's next year for me.
that's in December.
Okay.
And that's for about
Oh.
2.5 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Take
Did you tell me I was
advantage of
gonna?
it.
Did you tell me I was gonna make some money?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to. Money
Definitely.
coming soon.
And I'll be
One of
planning to
these.
make
I
some
need
money
you to do
too. I'll
mine.
do yours.
What's your sign again?
I'm a Gemini.
remember
through
that.
and
So-
through.
Dr. Allie's a Gemini, which is interesting because you don't strike me as crazy as my other Gemini counterparts.
You must not know me well
Well,
enough.
so
She's
you,
totally
But
Gemini.
I've also
You're-
evolved.
but
I've evolved over
you
time.
seem so. Although you seem high energy, like full of life and vibrant, I don't see you going back and forth between evil and good.
Well, because there's about 35 of me. And so I think that we've all learned to work with one another so well that we pretend to be one person.
That's the trick. Okay.
I think that's
because Geminis. I don't know why I attract them. All my friends are Geminis, and they drive me nuts. And maybe you just haven't driven me nuts yet.
maybe.
Maybe Geminis are attracted to me. I draw all of you guys in.
I gotta look at your chart again of why your sun is in your 3rd house, which is the communication house. That's Gemini's house. So
We
that
live
could
in
be a
communication.
reason why.
Mercury is my bitch.
Yeah, so that could be something to do with it. But yeah, we do all attract certain signs. Usually I can see that in a chart.
Hmm.
But you definitely are
Yeah.
Gemini to me because you're very like social. You're good at making conversations. You're good on camera. You know a lot of
She is.
interesting facts,
Flawless.
which I didn't know until today because you know a lot. So that's very Gemini because Geminis know a lot of
They want, like, let me tell you what I know.
I've heard that. They're good at weird
knowing a lot of
genius
things.
prone.
A lot of Geminis are genius
aware.
prone. I think Kanye is a Gemini, so I really feel like he almost is like too smart for this universe.
We
or
go a little
something.
crazy.
Has
We go a
he
little
tapped
crazy.
into like another part of his brain that we haven't gotten to yet? 'Cause-
Maybe. You know, Kanye's at another level. We can't all be Kanye because Kanye's too busy being Kanye. So.
Yeah, this is true.
I don't know. There's a lot of brilliant Geminis. So many rappers. All the best, greatest rappers are Geminis. Biggie, Tupac, Kanye, Kendrick Lamar, Ice
Damn.
Cube.
That's Gemini Team Gem.
There's just a ton of Gemini
And
rappers.
all the best R&B singers are Capricorns, okay? R.
Tyrese.
Kelly. Tyrese.
Tyrese.
Who else is a Capricorn?
Those are the only two I
Oh.
can think of.
Well, we're the best. We got R. Kelly on our
Actually-
team. We're team winning.
Taurus has a lot of great singers because Taurus rules the throat. Janet Jackson, Stevie Wonder.
That ain't all Taurus rules.
I'm at the cusp. I'm right there, May 25th. I'm really close to that Taurus
You are
line.
on the cusp. I'm a
I'm real
Taurus,
close.
so I'll have to.
My
rep
mom's
for
a Taurus.
But see, I
too.
get along with Tauruses. 'Cause
Yes.
I was telling her the
That's
other
smart.
day that those are the only ones that can handle bulls. Because, you know.
No, Taurus kind of. I'm not always. They're a little hard headed for me.
Oh,
a little
yeah.
stuck, and I get kind of frustrated. I'm definitely a butterfly.
But
Yeah.
your
I don't
husband
wanna-
is a what?
He's a Virgo.
Okay, so he grounds you, but
That's Beyonce,
Virgo
right?
and that's Beyonce. Virgo and Gemini have the same sign ruler, Mercury. So there is sometimes
We
can
communicate
be,
a lot.
yeah, exactly,
We can
talking
talk a
all the
lot.
time, like just getting each other. You guys have in common. Have that
Oh,
in
we're on
common.
the topic of communication. You just published a newsletter in regards to your zodiac love languages.
Yes.
So, for those who don't know, so when I saw that, I was thinking, okay, love languages. I know love languages, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, affection, and gifts. Does that have anything to do with the zodiac? Is that what that article was about? Tell us a little bit about your zodiac love languages. What is that?
Yes. So, I was first going to write an article about Venus because I was talking about how Venus is a love planet. But I'm like, you know what? Let me start with the basics of what zodiac signs, like what is the thing that they want? And I'm like, you know what? That's just like a love language. So that's how the idea came up. So it's definitely different based on like looking at a chart. Like I'd have to dive into it to make sure it's really accurate, but I kind of did a top line thing. Okay, Capricorns, you guys are very practical, but you still want to be loved. People might not know that about you, that affection would be important to a Capricorn because they go through the world being all cold and trying to take over the universe. When they come home, they just want to
World
hug.
dominance.
They just want to hug. So like I also
Yes,
did
I
think
do.
about a lot of my friends and people because I study it. Like I moved through that's how I moved through the world is through astrology. So I'm like, okay, this person, what are the commonalities? This sign needs this. So that's pretty much why I wrote the article. But yes, you can find out what a sign needs based on their sun sign, but it's best if you look at their Venus for love when it comes to love, or even their moon sign because your moon is your emotions.
Oh wow!
So you're gonna have to get this reading.
Like literally, we're already going to dinner. We've
Yeah.
already decided.
It's already done.
And this is a top rate assessment that she gives. I
Like,
mean, it's literally legit because when we were doing the BuzzFeed video, so many people were shocked at how well her results match up with the assessment. And so the things that she was describing about their personality was the same, very similar. What like science showed me versus what would you call astrology? Mystical?
Mystic spirituality.
Yeah. It was like, but it was so dead on. I was like, oh, this is
It
why we
was
became
very
friends.
similar,
To like
yes.
help everybody in the world find love with our superpowers.
The stars align for that.
Okay, so I wanted to help people at home who aren't that familiar with astrology and how it works. There's some myths that I think we need to dispel when it comes to astrology. One of the words that we hear often are, we imagine the crystal ball reader that's psychic, and we also think of, witchcraft.
Bruja.
Please tell everybody out there the truth about that.
Okay. Well, we just had a discussion about witchcraft and
did.
how it's not really
We did.
negative. There's a whole thing.
It's
But
not
we're not
really
going
what
down
it
that
is.
path.
Give us a little taste of that, how that came about to turning it into
Maybe-
witchcraft.
Maybe Dr. Alec. 'Cause
Yeah,
you were
so-
explaining that earlier.
I met a witch, and we sat down and we talked. It was really an amazing conversation, and she was giving me the history of witchcraft and talking about how back, in Europe and in parts of Africa, mostly women were performing a lot of healing. They were like, witch doctors, or they were like, the healers in their cities and towns. And then when we had this shift toward modern medicine, men were only allowed to go to medical school. But people in the towns and the villages didn't trust these doctors because they were doing things that were so foreign to them and so different. And people were like, no, I'm just going to go back to the healer down the street and I'm not going to come to you. And so doctors started to work in combination with the government and the pastors and preachers to demonize witches and start saying that they were, like working with Satan and marking them as evil and demonic. And then we came to all the witch trials and the witch burnings and things like that. And so it was not so much a spiritual movement, really a movement about kind of capitalism and a desire to corner a market. And so that's where we have a lot of demonization of people who are just really healers, and we're utilizing things in the forest and plants to make people healthier.
And part of what Tamerri does when she's reading your astrology chart is helping you to heal. She's, giving you some of these what we have deemed mystical, powers or information that she's read into based on this. And, I asked you earlier, I'm like, well, you guys were talking about the goddesses and, the moons and all this planet stuff. I thought that was Greek mythology and it's not really real. But you said that a lot of things from religion actually stem from astrology that we don't even know about. I was really shocked about that.
Yeah.
Did you say Jesus was an astrologer?
No, I didn't.
I always find a way to bring up Jesus somehow.
But back in the day, a lot of priests did study astrology. Doctors had to know astrology. It really was a way of life thousands of years ago. And I won't bore you with all the details because there is a lot to it. But for the most part, my belief is that we live here on planet Earth. Why would we not be affected by what's around us? It's almost kind of egotistical to believe that us humans are here with no purpose and we're just walking around and nothing affects us. No, we're connected to the world. We're connected to the water. The moon and the ocean are connected. All of those things are connected. So why wouldn't we be connected?
We're 70% water.
Yeah, it's why wouldn't we be affected by it? So to me, it just makes... Oh, water weight.
And if we look at the molecules, we're actually 90% water. So if you're looking at just hydrogens and oxygens that are in our body, we are actually 90%. So we are water.
See, Gemini facts.
Right.
And that's why we're also the salt of the earth, because we retain water.
We do. We have all the same.
I just made that up. Was that true?
We're actually made of all the same. We have the same percentage of elements that the planet has. And what's interesting, because I'm really into astrology a lot, and so I always try to help people understand from a scientific reason why it's real. So the planet actually vibrates. Everything has a frequency. Every molecule, this microphone has a frequency because it's made up of molecules. And the planet actually has a frequency of 7.42. And so we have the same frequency because this is where we were created, because we were made of the same thing. So we have that same frequency. But I'm not sure what the frequencies of other planets are. But if you think about how the moon changes the tides, we all know the moon changes the tides. And my personality, your personality, all of our personalities is nothing but water floating with lipids that float in it. So all of our neurotransmitters are made up of fats in our brains and electrical impulses.
Is that why we're so affected when, what do you tell us affects our technology when there's a
Mercury retrograde.
Mercury retrograde.
Yes.
She always gives
Gemini.
us this heads up. Mercury retrograde is coming through and about to wreck some stuff up. That's where Mercury is.
Actually, you're getting married during Mercury retrograde, but it's still going to be a fabulous wedding.
It'll be beautiful.
What if the camera's not working? I would die. What if
that could happen.
No.
But we will get it together. It's not a doom. Mercury retrograde is not actually doomed. It's just you got to double check cross your eyes or dot your eyes.
Dot your I's.
Cross your T's. Just make sure you have everything together so that.
Does it only affect certain? Can it only hit America? Because I'm going to be in Jamaica.
No, it doesn't.
I feel I'll be in another country.
There's got to be boundaries.
No, but other signs are more affected by. So, for instance, Gemini, that's your ruler. Virgo, that's
so it's gonna really mess with me.
It just affects Geminis and Virgos more. So, or anybody that has a strong.
Me and my husband. Oh
no, strong Mercury in their chart, strong. That's strong in their chart. That would affect them more. So it's not a doom, but I just wanted to bring that up to you.
But it's very real. This.
No, it's very real. Yeah, it's very real.
But why do people think that it's fake then?
I think that was just more of a religious agenda to kind of, get people to not believe in astrology. And I think it's been stigmatized. And I'm not saying everybody should believe in it. Do what you want to do.
Yeah. So it's kind of similar to religion, though, in the sense of where's the evidence? Oh, well, where's the evidence for religion? Oh, well, you got to have faith. Well, you got to have faith for astrology as well. Part of the reason also I brought you on the show is because I want to make people feel more comfortable with astrology. Growing up, my mother was a diehard Christian. And not to say that she's not anymore Christian, but she has loosened up and relaxed a lot on just following verbatim what the church said and, you know, having her own personal relationship with God and her own interpretation now of, you know, the Bible. But growing up, she would tell me like, oh no, astrology is, you know, fake. Psychics aren't real. And then I opened up the Bible and it talks about psychics. It actually talks about astrologers, and a lot of these kings went to them in order to read their
Witch
dreams
of Endor.
and like the what?
The Witch of Endor.
The Witch is the Witch of Endor.
The Witch of Endor. Solomon went to the Witch of Endor and like,
oh, is that the name of the witch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what she was called, and she said some horrible prediction, and that's where like a lot of Christians come up with this concept that like witches are super horrible because they said that she wasn't really bringing spirits, or she divined the spirit of Solomon actually for David, something like that.
That sounds like Game of Thrones.
It's so Game of Thrones. The Bible is Game of Thrones.
The Bible is Game of Thrones.
The Bible is ghost.
But Tamerri, like you are making us feel better about it though, in the sense of when we don't know something and we're ignorant to it, all we know is to hate it. Like all we know is to fear what we don't understand.
That's my pet peeve. It's like, if you don't know the facts, don't say that it's like, you can't say it's evil and you can't tell me why.
Right.
Like that I won't take.
And you can't even name all the planets.
Like,
don't
take it. 'Cause this is like, I can't stand that. Like, I'm not going to argue about something I'm not knowledgeable about. And I think a lot of people do that just because it's what their parent told them or whatever. But I mean, astrology is literally all around us. If you walk through the Vatican in Rome, you're going to see the zodiac symbols everywhere. If you go to the big plaza in Venice, there's a huge astrology chart. All through Europe, there's astrology. In Egypt, Kemet, I like to call it the real name, Kemet. There's astrology. Like, this is literally a foundation that we can't ignore. The word lunatic, that comes from people, Luna, moon, people going crazy on full moons. Like, it's really a part of everyday life. And I think people just fear it more than they should. But like I said, I'm not trying to make anybody a believer. It's what works for me.
Are crystal balls real?
People do use crystal balls.
What do you really see something in there?
I own a crystal ball, but I personally don't see anything in it. You say like,
does anybody in the world really have that power?
That's one myth I want to dispel. Okay, so astrologers are not psychics. There are psychics that are astrologers, but you don't have to be a psychic to study astrology. You can be any Joe off the street and learn astrology, because it is more of there's a lot of math in it. There's a lot, it's more scientific, I think. If you're into numbers, if you're into synchronicity, like, you can get it. I personally am a claircognizant. There's like clairvoyance. There's so claircognizant is kind of just when you know things.
Like when you get a little chill.
It's like you just know them and you don't even know how you know it. It's knowing it.
That's how I get when I know someone is for someone else and I need to introduce them.
And you're a Scorpio rising, so you have that intuition about you.
They can love each other one day. And I have to go up to them and let them know they should be together. Like, I feel that, like,
with spicy sense instead of spidey sense. It's
spicy sense.
Oh my God.
I love it.
I
love it. I do love it.
That is
you
so
should trademark
true.
that.
I really do love it.
And say that Tata told her.
I got it. Tata.
Astrofashionista told her.
Astrofashionista. But you're clairvoyant, so you can feel when...
I'm claircognizant.
What's the
clairvoyant? There's clairaudience.
All these clairs.
There's like, if you can hear messages, that's clairaudience. Clairvoyance is... I think that's just more of it's feeling and intuition. There's claircognizant is just a knowing, because cognizant has to do with your mind. So there's different clairs.
So you just know the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
I feel like I've always, my family used to call it like a gift of discernment.
Yeah.
Where you just you walk up to someone and you just know, like, you're the youngest in your family and something really bad happened to you.
And you don't even know how you know that.
But you just know it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow, sorry. Like, what's going on? You know, like, you're the hairs on the back of your neck stand up when you talk to certain people. Like, I've always felt like when it comes to bullshit, I've always been able to detect lies very easily, because I'm just like,
yeah,
something's not right.
Yeah. So you have that. I have that too. It's just more of like, So, and a lot of people are, I think, as humans, we are all psychic in some. We have dreams that give us signs.
A lot of murders, a lot of rapes. I feel like I've stopped a lot of crime. I feel like I have really stopped a lot of situations from going down. Like, oh no, this shouldn't be happening. Like, let's not do this right now.
You know what? I've been wanting to do I've been doing a little bit of research into it, but into intuition. And I think that as humans developed our frontal lobes and our ability to make these like really concrete decisions, like turning abstract things into something concrete, I think that we've lost our sense of intuition.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost that gut. And like a lot of studies actually show that your gut is actually directly connected to your brain.
Oh,
Like there's a lot of gut-based disorders that can impact you neurologically. Like there's just been some studies on like Parkinson's in that respect. And so I think that we've kind of lost this ability to think with our gut.
Devon Franklin has a book out right now that he's pushing that's actually like he's saying follow like your gut, like listen to your gut instinct because it's going to lead you, it's going to guide you.
He's SDA too, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Really?
Everybody's SDA, yep.
Oh, wow. Okay, for those of you who don't know, she's saying Seventh-day Adventist. But that's a common conversation that we have about that particular denomination.
Yeah, I just think we've like lost touch, you know? And I think you're right. I think we all have that connectedness because when we're kids, like kids tend to see like spirits.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They feel things and they just know things and they just say it because the society hasn't told them it's messed up yet.
Yep.
They don't know what to do with it, so they just talk about it.
Yep. And then we're trained to like filter ourselves.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So, no crystal ball, but you do have this feeling, this cognizant feeling. What about you being a professional card reader? You're certified as a card reader.
Yeah.
Cards. How do you know what it's in the cards for someone? You know, we say that all the time now, but you really can read a card, and you have told me before. So you're going to go after this job. In your cards, it says that you're going to have to do X, Y, and Z instead because that's not going to happen for you. And then I'm like, no, I choose not to believe that. And you flip some more over.
I choose not to believe that.
You flip some more over and you're like, actually, nope, that's in your face.
Oh my God.
She really reads it. Like, she literally reads these cards.
See, I will say,
Explain
cards
the cards.
scare me. They do.
Oh, really?
Well, cards, I
Just
think.
because the death card.
the death card.
One
Okay.
scares the
So don't be
shit out
scared of
me.
that. So there's. So obviously there's tarot cards are like the most popular cards. I do read tarot. I have taken classes.
What are tarot cards?
Tarot cards, it's just, they're oracle cards, I guess, for the most part that I use. And tarot has images on it, and basically it's just looking at the image on the card, and it's telling a story. So throughout all the images, based on what type of spread I do, I can see the story or theme that's going on in your life based on whatever you want to know. The thing about cards, though, to me, I like using them as a supplement to astrology, because to me, astrology is just a little more, I don't want to call it scientific, but there's just a little more backing to it. Whereas cards, like you can pull a different card every time.
And can't you interpret it differently? Because
everybody interprets it differently.
If you pull a snake for me and you pull a snake for her, that may just mean I'm getting a new pair of shoes, and that just may mean someone's going to backstab her.
It's definitely different for everything.
Doesn't it mean a different story every single time?
And that's where the intuition comes in, because I think with a lot of tarot readers, you're supposed to use your intuition with it, because you can you don't have to be psychic to use tarot. Any Joe on the street, like I said, can do it. But to have a good reader is somebody that's like, okay, I'm getting this message. I see this on the card. This is what is probably going to happen. And really, I don't like telling people the future. I'm not a fortune teller, because I feel like we all have free will.
Yeah.
So I'm more of like, I'm going to give you possibilities or scenarios that may happen. It's up to you to choose which path you want to take. That's just how I like
that was my
using.
next question. Yeah. Like, how locked in are we? How deterministic
Good
is this?
question. I was thinking that too. Like, can we change it?
You can definitely change it. I believe that we all have free will. Astrology, and I think a lot of astrologers would agree with me, it's more of like a tool for what may happen. It's telling you possibilities. For instance, I just told you Saturn's moving into Capricorn. Jupiter also just moved into Scorpio. We are both Scorpio risings. I have 3 planets in Scorpio. Jupiter moving into Scorpio is luck. It's a planet that expands everything. It makes things easier. So if I never told you that, yeah, you might have some good things happening. But because I told you that, you better believe you're going to go out and try to make opportunities happen for you.
Oh, and now I'm expecting them. I'm
and
like, bring hither.
So you're like manifesting that.
Yes. Oh, that makes so much sense.
So it's like,
because you put that out there.
If somebody doesn't know, that's why to me, astrology has been the best tool in my life, because I'm able to say, okay, this is about to happen. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot.
That's it. You make it happen. You're like you said, you're manifesting it for yourself. It's placebo in a way. And that you're telling yourself it's going to work. And our minds are so powerful and amazing that the stars are already doing what they're doing. And then now I'm convinced they're going to do it. And so I go out and make it happen.
Exactly.
I love it.
And then if you tell yourself that something's going to happen, or like pain's going to come to you, or, now you can avoid that situation, but
Hopefully you don't manifest it.
Yeah, hopefully you don't manifest it. Because if you don't act on it, is it guaranteed to manifest? Like, say you tell me, hey, the cards say you're gonna fail your test tomorrow, this exam you got to take. So you told me that, and I'm like, well, that's what the cards say. That's what the cards say, and I don't study for it. Am I guaranteed to fail? Like, what if I do pass?
But I would never tell anybody that. I hate when people are like, this is going to happen to you. I would say, okay, look, tomorrow is a day where maybe there's some difficulties with the planets. Your cards are showing. Maybe you got the death card. Maybe death is really about letting go, breaking free. It's not literal death in tarot. So that's why it's like, it's
what
scary.
Is the death card? You were afraid of it
There's
earlier?
a death card.
Because I thought it was like, you're dying.
It's not literal death.
Don't walk under tall buildings.
But don't you want to know if you pulled that card so you can avoid like cars for the day?
I don't want to know anything. I want to like go in my sleep at 157. Like,
oh my God, I don't want to live that long.
Yeah,
I'm down. Like, I don't want to know.
No, it's just about letting things go. Okay. Like when you kill things, and so actually, it's really a positive card like because when you let something go, something better comes in. So I like to spin it like you letting that go is going to bring some other opportunity.
So it's kind of like having a dream about a baby or being pregnant. When you have a pregnant dream, a lot of times it means something new is coming into your life.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the devil card. There's also a devil card. That's more about, it's more about insatiable desires or feeling like you're trapped because the card shows two people and the devil or they're tied to the devil. And it's like they don't realize that they can just break free and walk away in the card. So it's like, it's more of like you're feeling stuck, but you can just walk away. So there's all these symbols in the cards that they might look a little scary, which is why I like using angel cards because the people, once they see the angels,
I actually like
people that are Christian or religion.
I like
people like the angel cards better. And I have angel tarot cards. I have regular tarot. I have like tons of tarot decks, but the angel ones are just a little more like user friendly for people.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, it does kind of spook you out when you. Yeah. Because then too you start to think like, well, am I doing something demonic or satanic by listen? But you're not that, so you're not drawing upon because like the Ouija board. I feel like every movie we see the Ouija board break out. All of a sudden, like beds are flying. There's voices that we hear. A little girl's coming out of the mirror. Like all these films have kind of made us afraid, and then we see the little crawling lady. In every movie we see that crawling lady with thin hair.
Everything is scary. Everything is scary.
Yes.
I saw American Horror Story and had to literally,
oh my God.
I had to wake my husband up so I could go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Did you watch the season of the Witchcraft?
That was the one, the Roanoke.
Yeah.
Roanoke was the one that, oh no, that was the witch one or the one where they were, no.
I've seen every single season now. I literally have not slept.
Roanoke is what messed me up. I had to stop watching it.
I have to cuddle up next to my fiance. I'm like, meanwhile he's asleep and I'm like kicking like, ah! Like, yeah.
Literally.
It's terrifying.
I was like, wake up. Good. I have to go to the bathroom. Like, watch me. No.
Make sure I return from the bathroom.
I was like, no, you have, like open the shower. Like, make sure no one's in there. Like, I need you to keep looking. They pop out of nowhere. I'm like, Aaron, you see my eyes?
Two little white balls.
Terrified. Terrified.
But film has added to this idea of what we have about astrology or, psychic abilities or anything, card reading, anything that we don't understand. Now the only information that we have is, from Steven Spielberg or M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. Which I feel like no one, well, I'm sure there's movies with astrology out there, but I think, people connect like being mystical or anything that's not religious with
Voodoo
the devil. And voodoo
what is voodoo?
Voodoo's definitely
voodoo
not
anything similar to astrology.
It's not. It's more. No, it comes out of. I don't want to speak on this too much because I'm not really an expert. My boyfriend actually is very much an expert on this.
Oh wow!
No, he's an expert on like African spirituality and religion in general. But it's definitely there's a whole store in New Orleans that kind of explains where voodoo comes from and how it's not bad. And I think it's just, and I think with any sort of spirituality, mysticism, it's how you use it that makes it bad. If you're somebody that's like, I want like Santeria out of Cuba. or a lot of people practice Santeria in Cuba. If there's like, I want to put a hex on somebody, of course that's bad. Like, that's terrible. But there are ways that you can use it that are positive to bring more positivity
Just
in
like
your life.
People
Pins
pray
really
for
work.
bad things to happen to
Exactly.
people all the
People
time.
pray-
This is true.
exactly.
They say,
Well,
I
you're
hope
praying
the-
when
the-
you send bad messages.
And that's not good. You know, people pray for the quarterback of another team to be injured so he can't go out and play. I mean, and that is utilizing religion in a bad way. And so, I mean, how is that different from a voodoo curse and a hex with chicken blood?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's your intention behind it. So, and that's more linked to a person. It's not linked
Are
to
those
the
dolls
system.
real?
Yeah.
Where you put the pin in.
There are dolls that are real.
And you can really hurt someone?
I don't know. I've never tried it. So,
Do you believe the doll is real? That you could really hurt someone?
I don't know if I believe that or not. I mean, I guess it's the intention you put behind it. I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. I did buy one of those dolls from the store in New Orleans, and it's all coming back. This was years ago, but just as like a souvenir. But it wasn't like to use it. It's just to have
Shoot,
it.
I think anything's possible in this world.
Maybe
I
yeah.
choose not to believe in it because I believe that the belief is where the power is.
But I heard
That's true. The
so
belief is
not
kind of
believing it is how we're tricked, though. Like, if you don't believe in it, then you don't. So if you don't believe in it, it doesn't exist. And if it doesn't exist, then you're more prey to it. Because if you told yourself, like, it's kind of like between good and evil, Satan and God. If you tell yourself that Satan doesn't exist, now you can be a victim
Like,
to
unaware.
him. Yeah, because now you're like living as your own God in La La Land.
I've heard people say that, but you know, like people who believe in voodoo are people who are impacted by voodoo. So I choose with voodoo specifically to be like, you know what?
Or it can't, like,
Does that work
if
with
you're
taxes?
using.
Because
Yeah,
I don't want to
think
believe in
so.
taxes.
I think so.
I don't want to believe in
Ask Lauren Hill. I think,
I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah.
we all have karma. I definitely believe in karma, no doubt about
Oh,
it.
I totally believe in
And I just feel like if you're a good person, you're not even susceptible
worried
to
about
what
it.
somebody's putting
That's
on
true.
you. And really, it's going to come back to that person.
That's true.
Because if you put bad intentions out on somebody, that's going to come back to you. It's not going to probably even affect the person.
And that's
I
where
believe
jinxing
that.
comes from, right?
I guess,
jinx.
yeah, jinxing. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds right.
Okay, because my fiance's always like, "Don't jinx
Don't
us.
jinx it."
Don't jinx us." And I'm
Maybe.
like,
I think that's superstition.
Maybe that's
I
more
think
superstition.
superstition.
Because I feel like jinxing is kind of like, don't say something positive is going to happen because then you're going to make something bad happen. That's kind of
Yeah,
how I feel
that's
this
what
is
jinxing
that
so.
is.
more.
I just how do
It's
I
like,
live this
don't-
life?
Yeah, it's
so
a
much.
lot. I do tend to believe in just
So do I
like
believe it happens or
karmic
do I not?
goodness, and that, you know, according to like Buddhist thought, like we all must have done something great to end up as humans in this lifetime. You know, because
Oh, we can
like
come back an
karma's
animal or an
attached.
insect.
Yeah,
Not
karma's
an
attached
ant.
to.
Oh,
That's like the worst thing to
hell
be.
no.
Please don't come back.
You know what? I'm beginning to believe that maybe being human isn't the best thing. We're
Sometimes
pretty
I feel
physically
that way.
weak. We're super haughty. We think we're the center of everything. We don't work well together. But I'm like, yo, roaches.
Roaches?
But
They survive everything.
They survive
But
everything.
have you seen them squished?
Barely. Barely. Like, for how many roaches there are that exist on this planet, a small fraction of them end up squished on
You
the
would want
street.
to come back the most disgusting.
Definitely.
I don't say I would
Nasty
want to
creature.
come back, but I would just say I don't think humans are necessarily the top of the. I don't think we're necessarily the top. Cows, I would love to come back as a cow in India.
You're.
Oh, because they're sacred.
They love
I
them
was
there.
gonna say
I just
beef
feel,
is what for dinner.
but
No,
not in
they don't
India.
eat beef.
You can't even shoo them off the street.
Well, guess what? If
Don't
America
even-
has a shortage, guess where we're coming? Like,
India
we're
won't allow it.
Going there.
Damn.
We'll find a way. We'll smuggle some beef up in here. I'm telling you. Okay, so Ta, I know that you're gonna do our readings in the future because I want to know what's going on next year. You have your assessment, but I also always wrap up the show with doing a naked truth. All right. So you probably already know what they are because you're Clara
She's cheating.
You're Clara cognizant or whatever it's called.
She's reading it through your hand right now.
She's like, your question is.
Or because you emailed it to me.
That might be more accurate.
Just for that, I'm switching them up. You didn't see that coming now,
Alright,
did
fine,
you?
Whatever.
Okay. Let me think of a question really quick.
Mhm.
So, okay, so the naked truth. Okay. Let me think. If you had to lose one body part, what body part would you lose?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I need them all. Just do like hands count?
You would lose a hand? It's so
No,
important.
I'm not. I'm just saying,
That's
like,
a body
do
part.
limbs. Like,
All your
is it
limbs,
like
any
one
part,
finger? Could it be like
anything.
one finger?
You can lose it if you choose finger.
Maybe like the tip.
It would probably be one finger, or like, yeah, maybe the tip of like my pinky or something.
The tip of your pinky.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
If you had to suck on any body part on a man,
Oh,
notice how your face changes. You're like, ooh, what body part would you suck? Any little part. It can be anything, but what would you suck?
oh my God, this is so X-rated. I can't. Oh, my
Yeah.
dad doesn't
Yeah,
see
the
this.
naked truth. Dad's gonna
No, he will not see this.
see it.
It starts with a P and
Psychic
ends
like
with
you?
an S.
Oh, that's what you would suck. Dang, you're a freak. I was thinking you were gonna say something like, "Oh, the ear."
What else would you do? I don't.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
feel like that's the part men pay the
shoulder.
most cleanliness attention to, honestly. When was the last time your man cleaned his ear?
Oh,
You know what I'm
they're
saying?
always
Yeah.
his are pretty waxy.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
like Capricorn men, I read in like a horoscope or whatever, a sexual horoscope for Capricorn men, that they have a armpit fetish, and that they get turned on when you put your big toe in their armpit. Have you tried that one?
I have not tried that.
What?
But my boyfriend does kiss my armpit sometime. But it's like an inside thing. That's
I'm
not
claircognizant buoyant.
I've never tried
She's
the
all
toe thing. No, I've never
Oh
tried the
my
toe thing.
god.
I did see. Look, I knew it. Okay,
Wow.
if you had to, and I do. Oh no, I'm gonna switch this one up since you're claircognizant buoyant. What position, if you had to give up any position, you wouldn't mind giving this sexual position up in the bedroom? What position would you give up? Like, I can do without this one. It's my least favorite.
Doggy style.
What?
Yeah, because it hurts me. I don't know. It just hurts.
I get that.
I don't enjoy it that much.
Oh no.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. From a sexual chemistry standpoint, what sign have you had the best sex with?
Capricorn.
I knew she was gonna say that because we're the bomb. Now, is that the current boo right now who's Capricorn?
Yes.
Okay, because if not, you could do tell. We want to
No,
hear other
exactly.
Capricorn experiences.
Capricorn, yes.
Okay. And if you had to have one thing on earth, and I'm going to ask you this one, you have to decide between sleeping, eating, or having sex.
Definitely eating, which will lead to sleep.
Hmm.
You can only choose one.
Well, eating.
Okay. Everybody chooses eating. I'm like the only one that would try to get my buck on.
I can't survive off of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you guys have it. Astrofashionista has just been spiced, and so have you. But I want everybody to know where they can find you, where we can get our readings, because I need I need a new touch-up one. I know you do romantic readings, but you'll also give us career success.
Yes.
You'll coach us through the process as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Career, love.
Jesus.
Usually people want to know about career, love. I'll help you through spiritual issues. If you want to know if you should move to a different city, I can help you with that. Astrology really is like, you can kind of use it to do anything. But you can find me at astrofashionista.com. So that's astro and fashionista.com. My Instagram handle is at astrofashionista, Twitter, astrofashionista, and Facebook. My Facebook page is Astrofashionista. So,
And you
that's how you
also
find me.
do with Astrofashionista, which part of us is the name to do, like, it's astrology plus your keen fashion sense,
well, it's more
interior decorating, because I know you
Yeah.
give me, based on my Capricorn sign, what couches I should have.
Yes, really, I am the Astrofashionista, and it's my love. I'm a Taurus, and I love decorating. I love clothes. I love beauty, and I actually am a brand manager in the beauty industry. So it's more of a lifestyle site. So that's why it's Astrofashionista, because it's astrology, but it's showing you how you can improve your life with astrology in all those areas.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So if you need to fix your life,
Fix your life.
Astrofashionista.
Don't call you Yanla. Call Astrofashionista.
Yeah, call you.
Get your life.
Dr. Ali's like, oh,
Get your life.
Like, you don't
further
understand.
psychology.
I'm already writing down like questions I'm going to ask her at this dinner that I'm forcing on her.
Yes.
It's okay. Tameri saw it coming.
Like, she cleared it, claircognizant it.
Dr. Ali, where can they find you?
You can find me at AllisonHicks.com. That's ALLYCINHICKS. AllisonHicks.com. That's Allison Hicks at IG, Facebook. Facebook, it's actually Dr. Ali, DRALLY.
And you guys can always play with my Twitter or stroke my Instagram at SpicyMadi. And of course, go to thespicylife.com. Thank you guys. You've just been spiced. Bye. Make sure that you click and subscribe, and you can connect with us on social media in the comment description below.
The Spicy Life.